Hey everyone, my name is Matt, and I'm going to talk to you today about Claude Chic. Claude Chic is a drop-in replacement for Claude Code written in Python with Textual. I'm going to show you Textual here. That allows us to wrap around all the existing logic of Claude Code using the claude-agent-sdk, but now sort of in a more hackable way with Python, so we can get maybe a more modern terminal experience. So originally, I built Claude Chic in order to get better style. I'm going to talk through that first. But generally in this video, we're going to talk through three things. We're going to talk about style, and then Git Worktrees and kind of concurrent development. Then we'll talk about multi-agent support. Those will all be fun, but let's start with style. So I'm sitting in this repository I used to work on, and we're going to look at improving the documentation. Claude has actually never been in this repo before, so I'm just going to have to search a bunch. I've got this prompt. I'm going to ask it to go and do that work. So this is using the exact same logic that Claude uses, the same tool usage, the same hooks, the same everything. Now it's just being rendered differently. It's being rendered in a way that I like. So orange is user messages, blue is messages from Claude, and then gray is tool use. And this just is a lot easier for me to read. Because this is textual, we can also scroll up, we can scroll down, we can look at results of things, we can expand them. There's a lot of information that Claude actually has that it doesn't show you in the normal Claude UI because there isn't enough space. So cool, Claude has told me these things that it can do. That's great. I think what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to, so first I'm going to bump this down a little bit so we get more space. Sorry, this probably isn't easy to read, but most just want you to see the style of things. And then I'm actually going to bring up normal Claude and resume this session so we can get a side-by-side view. So give me just a second. Okay, we're back. I've gone back. I have opened up Claude. I've resumed this exact same session so we can see the two. This is Claude Chic. This is Claude. Claude Chic, Claude. So some things to notice. In Claude Chic, I think it's pretty clear the messages that you're supposed to look at from Claude. It's pretty clear what tool uses are. They're kind of more faded in the background. It's clear what user messages are. Also in Claude Chic, we're centering all the text in more of a space that you can read. It's actually quite hard for eyes to scan across a wide monitor. I find Claude Chic a lot more pleasant to read and a lot easier to parse. Let's also go down and look at, say, some of these sort of more sophisticated renderings, right? Yeah, let's actually, so in Claude Chic, we render Markdown, and in Claude, there's some rendering of things, but it's not quite the same. Textual has a fully scoped Markdown renderer. You may have also noticed that when it was writing, it was streaming those results in rather than just landing the entire block at once. Let's switch and actually get these to be side by side. So here we go. We can see the differences between the two different systems. Again, I find Claude Chic leveraging Textual and its Markdown renderer and all the stuff Textual does to be a much easier experience on my eyes to read than on the right we've got Claude Code. So that's the first feature of Claude Chic is just style. I just find it much more pleasant to consume, to read, to parse. My brain does less work, so I can spend more time thinking about what I want to do. So thank you, Claude, for your service. We're gonna send you away. Okay, the second thing that I really love about Claude Chic is Git Worktrees. So many people I talk to, myself included, we do lots of work with Claude. We're super excited with Claude. We end up getting a little bit slowed down because it's kind of slow. And so we start up a new Claude session. And that happens 3 or 4 or 5 times. You can even see I've got my tiling window manager stuff up here. We just run Claude in lots of terminals on lots of workspaces, and it gets kind of crazy. And we do this because we want to do even more work. Let's say this is happening. I'm working on this documentation stuff, and Claude is busy churning, but suddenly I want to go do something else. An idea pops in, and I want to go work on our CI system. Normally, I'd create a different branch. I'd go make some space into that. In Claude Chic, we have automated Git Worktrees So let's say I've got some work tree idea, CI fix. And what that's going to do for us is that's going to create a new copy of our repository in a new directory, right? So this thing lives in my normal directory, but then with this branch name appended to it. And I can go do work here. I can modify these files. I can run tests in here, and everything's going to be well isolated to this directory. And when I'm done, I can finish, and that's going to rebase on main, merge, commit, push everything into the previous branch, and that work tree is going to finish up. So many people have looked at Git worktrees, but none of us are very familiar with the tool. Claude Chic gives us that ability just with tooling, which is nice. What's especially nice is having Claude do that work for you. As always, the secret to AI is just using more AI. So in our work here, Claude has suggested some ideas. Maybe some are good, maybe some are bad. I'm actually not going to look too long at them. But let's just say, yes.
I like your top 3 recommendations. Let's do them in parallel in separate work trees.
And so now what Claude will do is it will itself create automatically these work trees. And in each work tree, we're going to, again, have a separate Git branch, a separate directory. And then each of those will also have a separate agent. And so we're actually going to start working on all 3 of those concurrently with 3 different Claude Code sessions running inside of this window. And so this allows us to take all those different Claude sessions that we used to have and plop them into one experience. So this is sort of our master session up here, and it's spawned off these other agents. Cool, thank you so much. It's asking what it can do, but let's go and explore what they are doing. So on the right here, we've got this agents sideboard, and they're going off and they're reading. They're reading certain parts of the documentation. They've been given tasks from the master agent. They're just going to keep going. And so they're all operating independently, concurrently, quite happily. This one has made a plan. The to-dos are here on the right, and it's going to go off and do some work. This is, again, this is really actually why I like Claude Chic the most. I built it for style, but it's this concurrent development that I really, really love. And while these are going, I can start up some new work stream. Whenever I've got a new idea, I just make a new work tree, I start work on it, Claude goes and chugs along. And in the meantime, all the other work is going on. And I can focus my attention on whichever of these interests me the most. So this is sort of, again, feature number 2 and 3 sort of mixes Git work trees and multi-agent support. I do want to talk about multi-agent support kind of on its own because it's interesting, and I want to sort of get to a fun example. So this one's ask for edit permissions. Sure. Let's give you all edit permissions because why not? I should also note like all of these things are clickable, right? We can select models, we can do all the things. So let's talk about multi-agent support. Let's make a new agent. Let's call it demo. Cool. So in this demo, I want to create 2 agents that play chess. So multi-agent support, we can make new agents and they can talk to each other. So let's see, play chess.
Make 2 agents. White and black. Have them play chess against each other. Make sure that they render the boards nicely so that I can follow along. Also make sure that they explain their thinking.
Cool. Let's wait a second. Great. So we've just created these 2 agents, white and black, and they are sending moves back and forth to each other. So this is interesting because it's agents talking to other agents. Now, you'll notice that when we first sent things here, there's this orange is from users, blue is from Claude, and then this sort of stacked blue and orange is an agent talking to another agent. And so white and black are two separate agents that have their own thinking, and they're sending back and forth to each other their moves and their understanding of the board. And this is great. And they're going to go and they're going to play, a 50-move game and have a good time. And at any point, any of these agents can ask any other agent anything they want to using agent ask commands. So there's an MCP server built into Claude Chic that allows agents to talk to each other. Playing chess is a silly example. I more often do this when I want to start off a new agent to go off and review something separately, or if I want to have a fresh reviewer on my code base. Claude Code does have sub-agents. What's different is that they can't talk to each other, and you can't interact with them. They're quite limited. I've seen a few sort of early users use agents this way in sort of fun ways. So it's an interesting space to start to play with some of the more sort of advanced architectures you might think about with Claude. So again, I'm gonna stop here. Thank you so much for your time. Again, Claude Chic is used for a few ways. One, it just looks nicer than Claude, despite being exactly the same logic, right? So this is not a reimplementation of Claude. It's not a reimplementation of the agent system. It's exactly the agent logic that Claude Code uses, just skinned more nicely. And then there's really nice, I find, Git Worktrees support, which helps me work on many things concurrently. And then there's also really nice multi-agent support, which I'm finding to be a really fun area to explore and how I change how I work in the future. So that's it. Thanks for your time. Hopefully this is useful. It's all open source. Please try it out. If you've got issues, please raise issues. You may get some Claude bot asking you about how to solve them. So I've had a bunch of fun working on this. I hope you enjoy it. Cheers.